What's going on, guys? In today's video, we're going to be talking about how the Knicks will dominate the Eastern Conference next season, and how pretty much the last couple seasons, the team that has been in the Eastern Conference Finals or Western Conference Finals has made the finals the next year, but mainly in the Eastern Conference. So since the Knicks were in the Eastern Conference Finals this year, they're most likely going to make the finals statistically, like that's happened the last couple years, and they have a very unique opportunity to keep building and keep progressing. Like the last couple of seasons, they went, second round, and this time they went to the conference finals, and then they can make the finals this year. And they're gonna have a new coach, and they're gonna have a retooled roster with a bunch of new key additions that they'll probably make this offseason. They got to see what they want to do, if they want to trade Mikal Bridges or Mitchell Robinson, which is a very interesting debate, because do they want to be committing that much money to Mitchell Robinson and Karl Anthony Towns, both at the center position, or would they rather trade Mitch and then maybe sign somebody like Al Horford, or maybe if Clint Capella, they could trade for him, somebody that's making less money that they could be able to sign, and that it would definitely be worthwhile to save some money there, and then they could probably trade Mitch for a wing off the bench, or somebody that can score or initiate off the bench, because they're most likely not going to re-sign Landry Shamet or DeLon Wright or campaign, so they're going to need another bench guard probably besides Deuce McBride and Tyler Kolek. We don't know if Tyler Kolek's going to be ready yet, so we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, also considering the recent trades from the Celtics, they are seeming like they're going to kind of like tank and like balance out a little bit. We don't really know exactly what they're going to do. But considering all that is happening with them, and like I said, with all the injuries, it's a wide open East, and this is the best chance that the Knicks will have. I also think next season they're going to have a lot more chemistry, considering that this year was their first year, and they had a bunch of new starters, a bunch of new players into the system, and next year they're going to get a new coach. It's going to be like a clean slate, very new start, and I really think that with the retooling of the roster, with the new coach that's going to be able to lead them and be more of a player's coach, lean more into the bench, I think a lot of development from last year's rookies and whatever rookie that they draft this year with the 50th overall pick, I think that they will have a great chance to compete next year, because they're just going to get more gelled together. They're just going to become, closer, and there's going to be a lot more chemistry on the court, which can go a long way. That with the offseason additions to the bench that we all foresee, I believe it's going to be essentially like a brand new team next year. Like it's going to be basically like a fueled version of the team that they have this year, because it's going to be a player's coach. They're going to have new players, and all that kind of stuff can add up, and it's going to really change the team. And I think that they can definitely go to the finals next year. It's wide open. So right now I'm putting in my prediction that I do believe that the Knicks are going to face the Thunder in the finals, and I think that the Thunder are going to look to repeat. They're going to try to win back-to-back, and it's going to be really hard for them because no team has won even another – in the last 7 years, no team has won a championship more than once. So there's been new champions every year. So I think that next year is the Knicks' year. I definitely think that it's going to be a really good finals. I think that it will be 6 or 7 games from the Knicks to the Thunder, and I do think the Knicks will win in probably 6 or 7 games, because one, the Thunder have a lot of players that they need to pay next year, so they probably have to trade somebody, or they're going to let somebody walk in free agency because they cannot pay everybody. With the second apron and everything, it's going to be really hard to pay and to keep their stars. It's really hard to maintain talent with the second apron. So I definitely do think that they're going to have to trade somebody, or someone's going to leave them in free agency, and it's going to probably be one of their key, impactful players. So I think that they'll definitely get probably a little bit worse next year, and them getting a little bit worse along with the games that they played this year against the Knicks were really, really gritty, tough games, and the Knicks had big leads in those games. And they just kind of ultimately just fell short of it, and then ended up losing by a decent margin, but they couldn't keep up with them. The Knicks have just been gassed all year because of the bad coaching, making the starters play all this time. So I think that this using the bench a lot more, which new coaches, that's what the Knicks are reporting, that that they want a new coach that's gonna focus on developing new like young players, and that they're gonna focus on utilizing the bench a lot more and helping guys really get in their role and fit in their role. And I think if everyone's in their role, if the bench is, being utilized as much as it needs to be, and the starters are going to be fresher, you're going to just see a more rejuvenated, a more like just new breath breathed into the team. It's going to be a lot better of a situation, a lot less like toxic, a lot less, no one's going to be coming to the media and saying like, oh yeah, I want to play less minutes like Mikhail Bridges did, or nobody's going to be gassed. We're not going to get a lot of these nagging injuries like Josh Hart was hurt last year with the knee thing. Karl-Anthony Towns had multiple injuries, so a lot of things just mounting up, and that's ultimately why that they fell short to the Pacers, because on paper they're definitely a better team than the Pacers, but the game's not played on paper, and I think that overall it definitely hurt the team a lot, because there was no way that they could compete with them when they were just not as fresh as the Pacers, and they'd had a gauntlet of teams that they played. So yeah, they had a tougher path, and ultimately that is why they lost to the Pacers. But I do think that this team is going to have new life breathed into it. I think that they're going to have a great young core that is going to start building up between the guy that they draft this year, if they bring in any young talent. And I think that they're going to have a really good chance to beat the OKC Thunder, who will probably get a little bit worse. And I do think that they might lose a player or two in free agency, or just, have to sacrifice somebody in a trade because they don't want to pay the second apron. So yeah, I also think that Jalen Brunson will probably be the Finals MVP, because, judging by he's the best player on this team, and I think that he will have another top 5 MVP finish like he did the year before last year. And I think that he's going to not become underrated anymore. I think that he'll be seen as a solidified top 5 player in the NBA. And I think that he's going to, get what he deserves. I think Brunson paired with Towns, them both probably being top 10 players in the league. And I think that they're surrounding them with defensive talent. I think that they're going to get another really good defender this offseason. I think Pacome Dadier and maybe Huck Porty, and those kind of younger guys are going to, come onto the scene, and they're going to be playing a lot more. Along with, I think, a well-rested Josh Hart was a really good defender, but this season he didn't really get to showcase it as much. And Mikhail Bridges too, they were just worn down by the end of the year and weren't playing great defense anymore. So I think that with them all being retooled and them all being a lot more healthy and them utilizing the depth a lot more, I think that they will be able to be a lot fresher, and that there will be a lot more defensive intensity and a lot more defense around Brunson and Karl-Anthony Towns. And I think that this year, their second year playing together, I think that they're going to understand a lot more with the chemistry. They'll be able to switch things a lot better, and there's not going to be as many mistakes made, And I think that is going to go a long way, and I think that will ultimately be what brings them over the top to beat the Thunder in the NBA Finals. So yeah, that is going to be about it for today, in today's video, and I hope you guys really enjoyed it. I hope you understand why all the points that I made and why I made them, and kind of, I just hope you guys let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you think it's a good prediction, if you think it's not, just, also comment like who you think your finals prediction is for this next coming season. If you think my takes are like valid or not. Yeah, just make sure to like, subscribe, share, tell everyone and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.